Contract renewal window has opened. We can try and renegotiate for a better deal with our current team, or approach someone else.
Alright everyone, welcome back to an episode of the F123 Driver Career Mode with Alpine. This is episode 57 for the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 4. If you missed the previous episode, then I recommend you go and check that out. But before we get into this one, we have to renegotiate our contract with Alpine, which should be a straightforward affair. We've won one race for them, we've got 2 podiums. It's not the title defence that you'd want, of course, but nevertheless, we are making the right steps. And, we're there or thereabouts. I mean, McLaren are dominating this season, as you can see on screen now. The standings, we're up in P4. The target is P2, I think. Piastri is miles out in front, unless he capitulates himself. I don't think we're going to be able to catch him as well. Speaking of catching people, R&D wise, of course, that ultimate fuel efficiency upgrade, the one we had to cancel last week because of the failed ERS upgrade, we're finally going to purchase that. We've got rain forecast for the sprint again, although will it be like in Austria where we had rain at the end and it didn't turn up? We'll have to wait and see if rain does actually turn up in the sprint as well. But that ultimate ERS upgrade has come in for this episode, which is going to be crucial. We've jumped Ferrari in the R&D tree. Ferrari, what are you doing? I don't even know if they've maxed out. I doubt they have. They have maxed out. They've got more upgrades to come. Mercedes have brought an upgrade. That's jump them ahead of Red Bull and Aston Martin. But it's only McLaren that are still above 1,000 performance thingamajiggies. But anyway, move to qualifying. This track's good for me, so I'm hoping, the target, is a podium here, which I hope we can get. But unfortunately, heading into qualifying, something was waiting for us.
Okay, I know you're eager to get out there, but I'm going to need you to be patient for a few minutes. We're just trying to zero in on an oil leak.
Cannot be serious!
Second episode in a row that's happened. Now, yes, qualifying. Yes, you can see here we're not at the end of the session. I'll get to that. First of all, obviously with the sunset, so hopefully we're not going to get blinded in the third sector as well. Well, there's not too much facing the sun as well because of the forest giving the shade as well. And slightly up on our previous best time of 140.994. Perez has just set a Verstappen set a 39.3. We're only marginally improving now. Middle sector is always horrible. We've got low wings on, of course, and of course the AI probably got a bit higher than me, but not as high as Sim Racing Centre. Those SRC setups are ridiculously high winds sometimes, But yeah, as we come through Pouhon, it's not the best corner in terms of feeling Pouhon. I'm not going to lie. I think they remodeled it a few years ago, and it just feels a bit bland. This section is always a bit bland as well. The middle sector, not the best around on the calendar. Then we come into the final sector, and this flowing left-right-hander. This is just all about speed as well. Who's got the fastest engine? Obviously we need a bit of downforce because obviously we've got this fast left-hander as well. As we come up to the approach to the bus stop, we're now 2.1 up as well. Here the new bus stop, I should say, because it's been revised over the years, 3/10 up on our previous best time. It's been a much better bus stop, up to the line for 140.6. Now we were actually improving on our final lap until we got to the bus stop, and then just for some reason, look at that, we lost 2/10 out the bus stop. I don't know. We were on for we were 1/10.5 up, which wouldn't actually improve my position, to be fair, so it doesn't really ultimately matter in the end. It's not going to cost me a big amount of time, but I need to improve my qualifying performances. It's something that's been a problem for a while on the F1 game. I think the AI need to be rebalanced in that respect, but there we go. See what we can do.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
Race strategies is the softs over the mediums as well. So that's what we're going to go with. 5 red lights then for the Belgian Grand Prix sprint, and when they get to 5, away we go. And it's a dreadful start for Leclerc. He just didn't get off the line at all. It was like Hulkenberg in Japan yesterday. As well as have a look down the inside of Liam Lawson and take a bit of the curve. There's a bit of contact. I think Tsunoda's on his outside. He is, so Tsunoda will get the better traction. Goodness grief, and now we're going to go side by side with Lawson. Oh my goodness, that was almost sprint ending contact through ROUGE and Radion as well. So here we go, we're going side by side down the hill, and then Tsunoda thinks he's got the move done, but then I just stick the nose in. We could have backed out. Yeah. Did Lawson give us enough space there? You can go side by side and make it work there on the outsides. We're going to now try and make a move round the outside of Yuki Tsunoda, which will give us the inside for the next corner. Tsunoda yields the position in the end there as well. This is one of my textbooks, making it move around the outside this corner, because it gives you, if you can't get it moved done at that point, it gives you the inside. We actually bully Tsunoda out of the way at that corner, which allows Lawson to get past him. Up at the front, meanwhile, Sergio Perez is running away. I forgot to mention the Red Bull 1-2, the first Red Bull 1-2 we've had for quite some while, but Verstappen is slow. He's not like the 4-time world champion in this series that we know he to be, and Perez is starting to run away for a bit, as we're now on the back of George Russell, who's not had the best of weekends here, and he's going to be a comfortable move down the inside. Thought we could have dived on Sainz, but he would have clattered into us right there as well. But instead we're going to have a look at Sainz, what we did in the same place that we did Tsunoda. Can't get the traction down, we're going to have to back out in that instance as well, and retain P9 for now as well. Now we're all over the back. We're going to send at the bus stop. Can we make this work? Yes, we can. Having a look around the outside of Ocon. No, they're losing the back end. Oh, such a shame. We lost the back end there. As well, I have to sit behind Ocon for now. Up at the front, though, Perez is running away, but that's Albon. He's finally got past Max Verstappen, who can confirm has front wing damage as well. So he's just limping out to the end, trying to hold on for as many positions as possible. As that, we've now got Ocon round the outside the bus stop as well. We're up to P7, so we are getting points in this sprint. Next up is Lando Norris, who as well is trying to improve on his terrible run of form, really, with his DNFs and everything as well. Now can we have a good run through ROUGE? We're going to have DRS. It's tight. We set a new record last time out in France of 229 mile an hour. What's it going to be here? Down the Kemmel Straight, it's 232 mile an hour I saw there. Round the outside of Norris, who's got no answer to that sort of speed. But that is a new record. The Ferrari is not as fast as that. I'm very much looking forward to Monza and Las Vegas with that type of speed in a straight line. As we're watching Verstappen, he's holding up everyone. As well as we're watching Piastri, he's having a go at Porsche. As well, Porsche needs a lower grid start so he can do his thing where he comes back and has a better finishing position. We are going to try and get ahead of our teammate here. He probably doesn't want to be overtaken by us, given the fact he was a lot faster than us in qualifying than he is in this sprint. As we go around the outside of turn 1, then it's a textbook move around the outside. Turn 1, we're up to P5. We've now got Verstappen and Porsche. Sorry, not Verstappen and Piastri, excuse me. Five's battling up at the front, and Piastri is past Verstappen. We need to get past Verstappen ASAP. We can't be stuck behind him through the middle sector. And we're going to send it down the inside this time. Verstappen takes the wide line, and he's a bit of understeer there for his stuff. That's cost him the position. Porsche now on the back of Verstappen, but he's locked up. And Norris goes through. Sainz lucky not to have damage there. And now Norris is having a go at Verstappen at the bus stop. But Verstappen, fair play to Verstappen for holding it round the outside there at the bus stop and to keep the position ahead of Lando Norris, but look at that, they're 8 seconds behind. That's how slow Verstappen has been, but you will have a fresh front wing then, as I come across the line then for P4, which is absolutely fantastic result there to get that position. It would be such a good starting position for the race. Although I think I can beat Perez, but the two McLarens, they are going to be something to probably run away with, unfortunately. Pourchaire, he'll be looking for a better result after only finishing P7, so he's got a bit of work to do. I think we can definitely get a podium, but can we challenge the two McLarens? That is definitely the question. Let's find out. It's time for the race day's Belgian Grand Prix. So, race strategy is a one-stop. As you know, I like to do the medium soft strategy, even though, as we know on this game, it doesn't really work out because you'll get undercut. But it should give me better tyres at the end because the AI will be on warm mediums. The soft tyres should be better for me. 5 red lights then for the Belgian Grand Prix, and away we go, and it's a good start, a terrible start for Albon, side by side with Piastri. I'll take the wide line into turn 1, can't quite get the move there, and we're up to P3, but this is the start for Albon, a shocker as well. Norris is going to get past him as well, so it's a shocking start for Albon. He's got Ocon and Pourchaire going side by side, but Albon straight away is going to have a go at Norris right at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Can he make this move work? No, Norris is going to come back at him though, as well, and keep the position there. And Pourchaire's having a go at one of the Ferraris, as there's an Alpha in the background as well getting involved. Not been near the points for a while, but Pourchaire unable to get past the Ferraris for now. As Norris, I think he's lost his wing with that. We'll get a replay now, as I've gone really wide for that corner. Didn't want to go really wide for that corner, but there we go. There is a bit of contact there. His front end plate on my front right tyre, and that's going to allow Albon to get past the DRS. So yeah, I think that's just a slight mistake, a little bit too over-eager there from Norris. I gave him enough space, but you know, I'm sort of half braking for that corner. As we're watching the rest of it, we've got two Ferraris sandwiching, I think that's De Vries, because Tsunoda started way down the order, and that is Oscar Piastri finally passed Sergio Perez. So I was expecting McLaren to dominate this race, but it's not really happened. Perez is still there or thereabouts, but I think the tyre wear for him now is starting to bite. You know, Red Bull and like Ferraris don't have the best tyre wear on the grid, and there's a bit of a twitch there for Perez as well. Still, could be worse. It could be Verstappen, who's way down the order. There's a huge gap, and he's down the back with the Alpha Tauris, the Haas cars, the cars that don't really score points, and Perez is in then, as well as is Piastri there. We will take the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix, which, yes, I don't think we're going to be taking that for very long, but there we go. Question about where we come out. However, it might be better than what it seems, because that is Piastri, and he's been jumped by Albon because Ocon is getting in the way. Although saying that, Albon has just overtaken Ocon through ROUGE and Radion, and then Lando is doing us an absolute treat. He might have damaged front wing damage, although visually doesn't look like he's got any front wing damage, but on the car he has, and he's slowing up both of them, an absolute treat. So yes, you know, they've probably been a few seconds up the road for me, but we're coming into the pits then. We've got a 15-second advantage. Piastri will take the lead from Albon. Piastri got back in front of Albon as well, which he'll be annoyed with because he did so well in the pits to get ahead of Piastri. Piastri set a new fastest lap as well. Remember, it's the every other race. This is the race, obviously, he's meant to win as well. But for me, we're actually coming out in P3. You're saying that. There's Porsche, and he's using his bit of battery to get ahead of me. But nevertheless, we're just going to wind up the Alpine Renault engine to not as high as 232, because we don't need it. 228 miles an hour to blast past our teammate and to set a new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. It's another point. That's also the other reason why I like doing this strategy. It guarantees me fastest lap at the end. You know, even though if we're damage limitation against the two McLarens, but I don't think that's going to be here because Piastri's not too far up the road, and first up will be, for me, Alex Albon, and he's got nothing against that sort of speed, 229 mile an hour at that point. Now, meanwhile, Alfa Romeo, unlike in real life in their future selves as Sauber, they're having a fantastic strategy going, and they've done it again, as Leclerc is up to P6, but he probably will fall away with how slow that car is. As well as we've now caught up to Oscar Piastri, lap 17. Can I get past here? Piastri tries to close the door and almost forces me onto the grass. Well, I'm having absolutely none of that, and I have taken the lead then, finally, at the Belgian Grand Prix, as Leclerc then has fallen behind, I think that's, Sainz. That is Esteban Ocon. He is out of the race as this Ferrari engine is blowing up. He takes out a break and mark award in his frustration there. I, though, just ran away from Piastri. Tyre wear for me was a little high at the end, but it doesn't matter. We're going to cross the line. Second victory of the season. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go from P14 to P1 with the help of a sprint race, ladies and gentlemen, as Yuki Tsunoda gets drive of the day.
What a great race then, and a magnificent victory here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
Oh yes, I'll definitely take that. Another victory, second of the season. It does mean that I have stopped Oscar Piastri from winning every other Grand Prix. Yes, as I'll show you at the end of the video. But first, this is a good sign. I've won here in Belgium, where, you know, and the car was very good on the straights. We've got Monza to come. That episode will be out next week. Things are looking good, as well as we celebrate on the podium as well. For Porsche, could he have done a little bit better, perhaps? I mean, to be fair to Porsche, he did close up to the two McLarens at the end, where Perez dropped away. So there is hope for Red Bull there, definitely a bit more promising for them, but overall today they just didn't have the overall race pace on the harder tyre. Verstappen in the end suffered and finished P17, so not a great race for him. So in terms of the drivers, we're 54 points behind Piastri still. I mean, he's won pretty much already. The target is to finish runner-up. Alex Albon, 14 points we closed the gap. That's more like it as well. We've cleared away of Russell, who had a poor weekend. In terms of the constructors, we have also flown away from Mercedes. So for us, you know, it's all about trying to... I don't think we can catch McLaren. It's just cementing that P2 and the constructors really as well. Yes, as you can see there, we have broken away from Piastri. It's a 13th race win of the season in our career, by the way. Just checking there. Albon hasn't beaten Piastri since Spain. Since Austria. So for Albon, he needs to start beating Piastri in the races if he wants to close that 40-point gap. For me, it's the second win in 4 races. You know, Austria, Belgium. It seems that this car likes straight cars with straight line, straights, which is going to bode well for places like Monza, Mexico, and Brazil, and that big straight in Vegas. The other Grand Prix, Singapore, Japan, and Portugal that we got left, possibly not. That's going to be it though for F1 Driver Career Mode this week. Monza and Singapore, I will try and get those both recorded for next week. And yeah, those will be 50% races. Then the following week, the plan of action is, for those of you stuck around to the end, the plan of action is to just get this career mode finished. So we'll have Monza and Singapore, then it'll be Japan and Mexico. Brazil will be a standalone race because it's a sprint weekend. And then the final 2 races are Portugal and Vegas. I'm planning to have those as 100% races. So there'll be 1 out per week. I've done some slight thinking ahead, and I think I can get that done before F1 24 comes out. So yes, all that is remain to say is, if you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe and do the channel. See plenty more F1 23 and F1 24 drive videos as they come out. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.